Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Resilience Garden Challenge. We're now finished 3 months and I've certainly got to say, and you probably agree, this has been a very challenging time, and unfortunately it does look like it's only intended to get worse. We're talking about the fires, we're talking about the temperatures, and we're even potentially talking about the water rationing, but this is something we're going to be talking on a different video. But the point is, looks like the next few months probably gonna be tougher than the ones before, because it looks like everything else is now literally at its brink. And I really came back from the holiday, shall I call it that, and it's almost, not say it's devastating, but to see the garden change so much for just a few days we've been away, it's almost heartbreaking. Although I had my neighbor watering my tomatoes, my cucumbers, I know some of you are really worried what's going to be happening to them. She did absolutely brilliant job. They are surviving, they did okay, but there were a lot of things in the garden that pretty much really took its toll, and it does look a little bit like a desert, I've got to say. So going forward, we've got to really think seriously about what are we going to be doing and how we're going to be dealing with those kind of challenges going forward, because on the top of everything else, with growing our own, the predictions of the food, and I know some people think is, you know, it's a little bit of the OTT because things are not going to be happening, but trust me, seeing what I've seen in France, seeing what's happening in Spain, and seeing what's happening here, our food is at risk. But again guys, we're going to be talking about that on a different video. So today, it's, as I said, this is the final, which is the July's end of month. So we're going to be talking about how much food I managed to collect or grow this month, which is actually rather surprising, and it might surprise you as well. But first of all, I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you what really worked and what didn't in my garden. As I did say to you, I've been making choices where to direct the water resources, because there was pretty much pointless to save something that's really not going to be dealing with the heat and the drought. So anyway, but you'll see this in a minute, so let's go. Well, starting with our starting point of what used to look like a very nice healthy looking cucumber plant, but it's now the weather is taking its toll. But fortunately enough, they are still cropping, not as much as I would hope, but because I've got quite a few of them, there are still flowers. And if we have a look at the new growth here, because the weather kind of got a little bit cooler, there's a possibility that those guys will continue growing. But you can see one growing up the top there, but you never know. To be fair, it's produced for 2 months. I'm pretty happy with that. I pretty much forget the raised pots thing here, because they're doing brilliantly, everything else not so much. But again, they are in a pot, it's understandable. So this is the tomato ones. You can see a lot has been harvested, which we'll cover later on. I've got them all the way around there, and you can see on this side as well. This was one of the later sown ones. They're still green, and this is, it looks like it's pretty much depleted itself already. And this is the mascotka ones. They're really bizarre, but they are doing absolutely brilliantly. They do need watering pretty much twice a day, if not more, because of the amount of fruit they have. But yeah, they're coping a-okay. So here's the same. I had to put pots underneath to get them off the floor, because they're just too heavy. You can see lovely tomatoes there. Right, this was my cucumbers. There we are still. They changed their shape a little bit, which is a bit bizarre, but nonetheless they are still growing. They don't get bitter or anything else, that's fine. They're climbing up here, they're happy, seems to be. And we've got my little cucamelons that are now growing, which again, I'm rather pleased. They're going up all the way up there, and we'll find out what happens with them later on. So this is the massive tomato one. We now had to put them on ladders, small steps, shall I say, because they're just huge. It's still one of my favorite plants, but if you lift it up there, they're hiding. It's crazy. It's beautiful. You can see a bunch of yellow hiding underneath, so that's something we'll be harvesting, I think probably today or tomorrow. So this is the mascotkas again, exactly the same thing. Look at the weight of those guys. Not surprised they're drinking so much water. It's crazy. They're beautiful. I think I might end up growing only those next year. So this is the other side of them as well, similar. And this is the other pots. This is what I've left them in to help the watering for my neighbour. It's the pots with the water, but still, they still require quite a lot. You can see they're kind of okay. So here You've seen my gigantomals, I think those ones were. They're set to ripen, but unfortunately they're starting to split because of the water situation. So I think I'll be harvesting them to making some sauce, because, well, there's no point in them sitting there like that. So this is the other side where those ones are. You can see here, look at them. They just look beautiful. So again, they'll be all coming off. They are done now, so they're ready. And then I've got here one red one. Oh, I've got a bit of a rot on top. But yeah, nonetheless, there's quite a few of them about. Right, this is really the sorest part of the garden. The courgettes are struggling. There's one here or two. You can see I've been cutting off the leaves just to trying to keep them healthy, and thinking if the weather picks up, you know, not so hot, a bit of rain would maybe help them grow a bit faster. The same thing is on the other side. They're not really happy. I had to move my beans from the concrete into here when I left, just to give them a bit less of a heat. We harvested some, again we'll cover that later. They seem to be dealing with that not too bad. And then here I've got some chilies. They've been moved as well. They're rather happy, but then chilies love the heat anyway. So right, so here you remember my tomatoes. They're struggling. That soil in there is clearly pretty much a desert sand right now. I water them every day. They're not totally wilting, but they're just not doing that brilliantly. Leeks, birds keep digging them out. And this is, we can wave goodbye to the red currant, I think. It's pretty much had it. Beans, in spite of that, they're okay somehow. Bear in mind, beans, like water, they're doing better than the majority. Leeks, and the bigger leeks, unfortunately I see that one of them is starting to go to seed, so I have to get this off, cut them off, and pray that the rest of them are going to be surviving the drought, really. So I've got the pumpkins, the trombone courgettes that I seem to be growing where I want to. I just leave them there to do what I want to do. And the pumpkins coming up. It's a mini one, so we'll see what happens there. So here we are continuing into my trombone courgette, which has grown a lot. Here they are. Hopefully you can see him there. He's meant to grow up to like 1 meter long. He wilts twice a day because he needs water, so I'm trying to keep on top of him. But tomatoes on this side, a lot have been harvested. Look at them, they're beautiful. There. Again, they'll be all coming off. So on this side, I still got beetroot that I haven't done anything with, which need to come out before it gets too woody. Mini climbing courgettes, not doing great. They've got powdery mildew on them, and they're sort of, I don't know, there's not enough fruit on that. The tomatoes are doing okay, they're not wilting. And our beans, you can see beans, they produced well actually for the dwarf beans, and I still got some which I'll be harvesting today. We've got some climbing up here. They're a different variety. I can't remember what they were called, but they're a bit chunky monkey. But nonetheless, got loads of tomatoes at the back. And yeah, that's that. And the runner beans, you'll see, it's a massive canopy, but a lot of the flowers are just not set into the fruit. It's been hot, look at it. Pretty much 99% of every single thing is not set fruit. Not fruit, but pod. So, which is not good. They look pretty, if you see here. It's a beautiful arch. But yeah, it is what it is. Tomatoes. This is a jungle. And I think, again, this is what's really saving them from the drought, because they're shading their soil. And there's loads of tomatoes in there. I put loads of stakes in between, but good luck getting there to harvest those red tomatoes in the end. They look I'll have to be finding my way somehow. There's quite a few, and amount of fruit is fascinating. If you look at it's beautiful. And so yeah, that's the beans. So they're kind of going crazy. They're leaning, but it's whatever they want to do. So I had some beans, French beans here. They're a little bit over. I might keep them just for the seeds now. Another cucumber. I moved it to the shade. It's I don't know. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Fennel. I have missed the boat, and it's gone to seed. So unfortunately the bulbs were good and no longer. So I'm going to keep, I think, probably seeds so I can seed my own for the next year. And the brassicas, which I need to dig out and have a look, weed this out a bit. They look okay, I don't know if you can see that, but they're huge, but we'll deal with that. And on this side, this is my yard-long bean, and I've just spotted it. Look at him. This is what they're meant to be. It's like a French bean. It's really big. It's bizarre. The flowers were really beautiful, and it's now creating a massive bean. I think, is that a bean? Yeah, really strange. First time growing them, but yeah. Well, this is the what used to be my herb bed. Yeah. I'm surprised the apple tree's still going, and the tomatoes are going because I'm watering them. They're going rather tall, but everything else, it's kind of ish. I'm watering the strawberries because I don't want to lose all of my strawberries. I know they breed quite well, but I want to make sure I do have some to plant up for the next year. And then here, that's forgotten cause really, all of that, apart from the perpetual spinach that seems to doesn't actually mind. Pumpkins, yeah, forget it. That's celery, that's not doing too bad, and everything else is just, yeah, it's wasted. I'm gonna just clear this all off, I think, and think what I'm gonna be doing. Another tomato plant, got some here. There's a few there, he's doing okay in the pot. Cucamelons, they're still, I know a couple there, still a bit early because they've been planted later. And then my greenhouse, if you go in here, right, the cucumbers, you can see how changed they now. There we go. See, still getting some. I harvested 1.4 kilos when I came back from holiday, and this is after my neighbor had a go. So there's few there still. The yellow one's doing okay, but they are already shoddy. They are coming to the end. Basil, still okay. I need to plant it on. And I have some cucumbers that I've planted 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I'm gonna get them in the bigger pots, and hopefully maybe I'll be lucky with the harvest. Here we've got some more cucumbers. You can see again powdery mildew is spreading, but they seem to be, don't mind, he needs to come off. A bit yellow, yeah. Right, so let's have a look at the tomatoes. So in between greenhouses, I've got those beautiful black cherry tomatoes. Right, I'll get them harvested. I absolutely adore them. To me, they just look beautiful, and it tastes super sweet. French beans, dwarfed, some there, so they'll be harvested. And it was like a jungle. It is absolute jungle. It's a struggle tying them up because they seem to want to grow sideways. Watering them, yes, twice a day, and you can see loads of fruit. There's loads of red ones there, if you can see. Sorry, loads of red ones there, you can see up there. Again, few have been harvested. Yeah, a challenge to keep them going. Challenge. Oh, I see another cucumber down there. But they seem to be, they're fruiting. So there we are, guys. That gives you a rough idea what sort of been happening in the garden. As you can see, half of it is unfortunately wasted. I'm disappointed by the herbs quite a lot because it's something that we really enjoy eating, and you can understand that it's not really point of seeding certain things if you know the weather's continue to be really dry and really hot. Unfortunately, as for predictions for for the next 4 weeks, apparently we are going to be having no rain. I think there's a prediction of a drizzle for a couple hours one morning, but drizzle is barely going to do anything. And now when I tidy up and sweep between the pots, all I can see is just a bunch of dry soil just keep coming out from the edge of the bed. And this is how dry the soil is. It's now seemed to be, you water it and it needs to be probably rain for like a whole day to just get things up and running. And I gotta say, it is a little bit, not say upsetting, but it is what it is with the weather. We can't sort of change it, but it is a little bit scary to think that if all those predictions and assumptions of what's going to be happening are happening, and then we as a gardeners can't even produce our own food because we just can't keep up with that is something to really consider. And then the talks about the the water rationings I've seen again is part of the government thing. It's ridiculous, but again, it's another video to do about that, because we seem to be, as a consumers or as first ones to be responsible for the fuck ups of everybody else. But nonetheless, right, let's go through. So because we missed the 2 weeks, not that it was a lot to show anyway, we're gonna have talk about the monthly total for the July. And I gotta say, bearing in mind last month I had 14 kilos, and a lot of you will say, well, it's picking up. It certainly did. So right, so this month's we had altogether gooseberries 2.25 kilos, broad beans only 450 grams, peas 450, potatoes 2.46 kilos, and I still have some potatoes at the front, salad 50 grams because it's finito, carrots 950 grams, beetroot 3.3 kilos, rocket 250 grams, coriander 300 grams, cucumbers 10 kilos, well in fact 10 kilos and 150 grams. I've been harvesting on the peak of this the week before last, half a kilo a day minimum. It's been amazing because I have so many of them. It's been great. My neighbor had some, I've made some relishes and pickles. 10 kilos of cucumbers, that's a big chunk of my target. Bearing in mind last year I think I had about 5 cucumbers, not kilos, so that was amazing. Courgettes, unfortunately only 1.63 kilos, and this is something that everybody thought would be amazingly. French beans, I had 1.95 kilos, runner beans 4.12 kilos, tomatoes 4.32 kilos, and this is not including the tomatoes you've just seen there, because there's another probably couple of kilos which I'll be harvesting or be counted towards the next month thing. So the total for that month was 31.43 kilos. 31 kilos in 1 month, that's not bad. I know a lot of this is the same food, but it is what it is. So roughly, if we put this into the organic produce prices in the supermarket, we're looking about 130 to 150 pounds. Okay, we're not going to be talking about the cost of water, because we kind of I've been given permission now to just do what I need to do to keep my major ones alive, because otherwise what's the point? If I suddenly just throw the towel, that's months and months of work. Bear in mind I've started my tomatoes in like February. There's no question they're going to be the ones they're going to be getting water. I'm doing my best with the grey water in the sink. When I wash hands, I've rinsed my own produce. I've got the big tub in there jug, and I keep popping in there like, you know, settled person trying to keep my tomatoes alive. But nonetheless, this is where we're at. So in forward, I'm not giving up the challenge, although however I feel depleted, got to continue, because I want to try at least and fail rather than not try it at all. So I'm going to be seeding, because the temperatures now, well, today's 27, I think tomorrow is subsiding to like 24 and then 21, 22, which is perfect. So sowing radishes, probably back inside here, lettuce, spinach and the turnips, and I'm going to be planting on the cucumbers. I might put on some parsley, not put on, seed some parsley, maybe some other herbs, just to see whether things will work. Good time to do Chinese cabbage, Chinese radishes as well, winter radishes if you call them, if you've got the space. So once I clear the tomatoes, whatever that might be, I'm going to be seeding them. But that's that, guys. This is really the true thing. I'm not hiding hiding the mess. I'm not hiding what's happening, because I think 99% of us who are growing currently pretty much in the same boat. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you feel yeah, depleted, upset, I don't know how you call it, because you don't want to give up, but at the same time, like, I want to give up. I look around and I think, you know what, if I have to do what I'm doing right now, and I have been for the past like 2 months when there's that rain, for another two months, and then potentially still lose half of the produce because things just can't make it, or they crack or fall off or something, then what's the point? But again, we're gonna do the best we can. Resilience, preparedness is such a thing that is, as tough as it may be, I think is a necessity. I think nowadays what's currently happening, especially now, and I know I always say especially because every year seems to be getting worse, but I feel like especially this year, the food thing is going to be horrific. The loss of crops for farmers in all of the countries. It's almost like somebody just doing this deliberately. I wonder. Anyway, guys, I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you for watching. I shall see you next time. Bye bye.